What's up? What's up? So I was on Instagram this morning and I was like, you know what? What does this even mean? Right? When people say need nothing, attract everything. And so here I am with Gee. Let me throw a little good morning in there, a little buenas. I always say noches. I don't know why I like buenas noches. So we're just gonna say buenas noches. That's just gonna be the thing. Even if it's day, if it's afternoon, as you can see behind me, clearly it's day. But we're gonna say buenas noches. Um, hablas inglés solo, which I think means speaking English only. Because, sometimes I say that and then they be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, bro, no comprendo, lo siento, no lo sé. So I said, when people say need nothing, attract everything, what do they mean? How do I attract versus needing? What does needing, let me change this, look like versus attract? Let's see what we get this morning. See what we cooking with this morning. How y'all doing this morning? How's your May been? It has been an interesting May for me. Happy the crypto markets are rebounding if you're in crypto. But we getting something. We're getting back to where we were. Like, I think the markets have been down since January. So this has been the longest winter into spring. So I am hoping we keep this trajectory. I don't know if we'll ever get a bull market this year, but hey, at least some of the things we've been underwater, we can finally get out of water. So what it says, when people say need nothing, attract everything, they usually mean needing creates a sense of lack or desperation. It repels. Attracting flows with wholeness, self-trust, and confidence. It draws things in. Here's a difference in vibe. Needing feels like I have to have this or I'll fall apart. Anxious, clingy energy. You might overgive, chase, or settle just to get it. Attracting looks like I love that, but I'm good either way. Magnetic, calm energy. You take aligned action, but let things come to you because you already feel full. I don't know why when I read that, I wanted kombucha. Side note. I was like, dang. Kombucha sounds kind of fire right now. Okay, anyways. So, real world examples. Needing love. Texting someone constantly, overanalyzing if they reply late. Attracting love, living your life, glowing, and people wanting to be nearer your peace. Needing money, hustling for panic, making desperate moves. Attracting money, learning, building, circulating energy wisely, and being confident in your value. And there, my friends, is why you get a little bit of explanation sometimes. Because often we hear things, right? It's a lot of buzz comments, a lot of buzz phrases, a lot of buzz themes. Like my I hate this soft era buzz crap. I'm like, guys, I don't think people realize that the more you buy into trends, the less permission you have, which is why it is easier to get why it's easier for the government to get you to be obedient to their commands. Like if every trend you're like, that's who I've always been. I was waiting for someone to tell me who I've always been. If that's you, if you're that type of girly, you're fucked. Like if you're waiting for the world to nudge you about who you are through a trend, through a dance, through a taste, through a sound, you're fucked. And I say that with all the love and respect, not really, because sometimes we just need to be slapped. And it wasn't until I looked at this soft era and then Gee started saying it to me more, I was like, oh shit, I'm being programmed. Like, it's giving me permission to finally stop dating broke people. So this whole time, they've been bashing us, right? Wow, you was with him because you wanted his money. What else, dude? Like, I'm sorry. When I was dating someone because I just wanted to breathe their air, I was more broke. You ever realize that? You get with a broke person, you become more broke? Even if you kind of had your shit together, somehow, two people who have their shit together, but they're not rich, somehow over time become more broke. I don't know what that is about, right? You can have your savings, they got their savings, right? Y'all both managing your bills. And somehow when y'all both get together, very rarely do y'all both elevate. Most times, you leave financially ruined. And I was watching Housewives the other day of Beverly Hills. You know, a lot of those women now are having complications with their husbands after, you know, being on the show 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And Erica Girardi, who I love, shout out to Erica Jane, she literally went into that relationship, I won't say broke, but we'll say not having financial abundance, right? Having a job, taking care of her kid, but not, you know, not upper middle class, probably more middle class. And leaving that relationship, even though she was making 6 figures an episode, I'm sure at a certain point, she left broke, right? Not saying she had $0, but even if you saw in your bank account at one point, you had, let's say in her account at one point, she had $3.5 million. Well, with all the lawsuits that she was in, all the fighting for her life, having to rehouse herself, you know, some of her assets being taken away from her, you know, even if she looked at her account and she was at 1.3 million, that's a lot of millions of dollars gone. Like, you would feel broke. Like, that's broke to her, right? She may not went under $1 million, but even to be that close to 1 million or 1.5 million, right? That would suck. Like, you would feel broke to have lost $2 million. Now, luckily, the universe, here she is in the future. She has a beautiful home. She's redecorating it. She's established herself as an actress on Broadway. Like, that storm she went through, this is a gorgeous era that she's in now. Like, I'm so grateful that she's finally able to catch her breath. The court systems are in alignment. And what I love most about her, I'm one of few people that actually believed her. I knew her husband was crooked when she started telling the stories, and I'm like, she is not involved in this. Like, he may have did the cute honey, I'll pay for your career, but like, I'm like, I know she did not corroborate in this embezzlement. Like, I just felt that way. So I'm grateful 5 years later, everyone else who really was just taking very basic pieces of her life and using it against her, or weaponizing, as everyone's starting to say, they're eating the words. That's probably been the best story of F you. I know who I am. I didn't lose my integrity just because my husband did. So shout out to her. But what was my point of that? Oh, dating broke people. But yeah, so if we'll talk about it another time. We gotta figure out why we are so thirsty for a trend. Why are we so thirsty for permission from people that don't matter? And by people, I mean the world. The entire world is telling you how to think right now, and you are buying into that shit. Wild to me. Now, needing love, I totally get. People wanting to be near your peace. I think I do have a natural way. Like, there's this guy I used to see every week. Every time he saw me, he hugged me. He never really talked to me, but every time he saw me, he had to hug me. And I just never understood it. But now I understand it. Like, if I'm the light in the middle of a sea of 50 people who are usually drunk, I'm one of the few people who arrives, you know, having not drank a lick of alcohol. Well, I would be the light then, right? Because everybody else is intoxicated, and I'm over here just thriving. My skin looking good. So I get why he would always hug me, but I never really got it until recently, where I was like, dang, like, maybe I am the light here. I'm the only person that just looks cool. I'm nice. I'm fun. And I don't look like I'm in a heap of problems. Or at least I carry my struggle to, behind me, like a backpack, versus carrying my struggle through my skin, through my eyes, through my smile. You know, sometimes you can look at people, even though they're smiling, you're like, damn, like, you're faking it. You're really hurting right now. And I try to avoid those people, not because they need to be avoided, but because those are the type of people that once I know their issues, I want to help them. I want to motivate them. I want to, like, you start making them part of your group of people that you just want to love on and, like, get them through it. And those people, they don't mean to, but they naturally drain you, that naturally demand of your energy, and then you just end up, you end up worse off, and all of a sudden it's a transfer of energy. And so I don't want to, I don't like to connect myself to those types because I already know what I'm capable of, and it doesn't end well for me. It ends well for them. So, anyways, let's talk about sexual magnetism. I think that's how you say it. No, is it sexual magnetism? Because Napoleon Hill, and I just recently realized what this. No, I think it's transmutation. I think it's sexual transmutation, because I think that's the difference. When you're attracting, if you could vibrate on a level of transmutation, then you wouldn't have to need anything. You wouldn't even have to think about needing, because of how you're vibrating. So he talks about sexual transmutation, and it's one of the most misunderstood yet powerful ideas in the book. Sexual energy equals creative energy. It's the most intense human energy we have. Instead of wasting it on temporary gratification, you transmute it, redirect it into something higher. Business building, wealth creation, art, leadership, confidence, charisma, riz. He said that many great men only started achieving wild success after age 40, because that's when they learned to harness, not waste their sexual energy. Sexual magnetism, it comes from inner power. It's tied to desire, focus, and purpose. You become magnetic when your energy is disciplined and not scattered. And so, speaking of that, so this girl on Instagram, let me find her post. And I know this is a bit of everything right now, right? I know this is it's not one topic, but so this girl on Instagram, she posted some pickup lines to get in people's DMs, and I hope I can find it quickly, actually. Okay, I thought I was going to have to pause it. So the pickup lines are: you seem like someone who actually knows what she wants. Am I right, or should I keep scrolling? Second is, okay, I have to ask, are you the big spoon, little spoon, or depends on the night? I think that one's ass. I actually think the second one is ass too. Third one is, someone tells me you're not the type to settle. What's a green flag you always look for? I think that's ass. It's like, I get there should be icebreakers, but if I don't know you and you're just off top asking me information that doesn't feel like, it's at least, I think opening statements should have some level of connection to the person so that they can feel like you're not just somebody. It's like walking up to some guy and be like, so what do you think? Who Michael Jordan or Kobe? And it's like, what? I don't care. It's like, it's not that you don't have an answer. It's just like, what the fuck? But if I walk up to you and be like, bro, you're the only person that fucking ever has on LeBron shoes. Isn't he the best player? Is it Kobe or LeBron? Then it's connecting to him because he has on the LeBron shoes. You're connecting on nobody ever wears the shoes. They want to be haters. And then, it's a different kind of door opening to me than to just be like, hey guy, LeBron or Kobe. It's like, what? Why do you even assume I like sports? That's just me. But anyways, 4 is, I'd bet good money you're a softie under that confident energy. Am I wrong? No. The one I liked, your vibe feels intentional. Now, I wouldn't say vibe because, ew. What's something you wish more women noticed about you right away? That, to me, is whoa. Because you never, right? No one ever gets to really talk about themselves in a way that is vulnerable, right? The other night, I was out and I was talking to the band. They were, packing up their stuff, and I had missed their set. And one of the band members came up to me, and his first question was, oh crap, what was the question? Do you play music or something like that? Or are you in music? Or something like that. And I was like, I sing. I play the drums. I'm just yeah. Because it's, it's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, pick me. I want to be the singer of your band. But that is something that people don't really ask about me. They never really ask if I'm musical. And that would be a vulnerable thing because I have not positioned myself to be a singer. and talking to them, I'm like, they make music. I'm like, I could very well, I don't know how making music works. I'm like, I would love to come to their sessions and we probably could make original music because they are artists. I write songs. And I'm like, that would be fucking cool. So yeah, I like that question because a lot of people don't like. I'm gonna reach out. So I said I was gonna reach out to. I'm gonna go back. So I said I love number 5. I said I'm gonna send number 5 to 15 women between 5:15 and 5:35 p.m. and see what happens. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it on May 15th. So I got 6 days. But I'm like, now I have to find the women because that's the hardest part, and they have to look attractive. They can't just look. I'm gonna show you an attractive person. Oh crap! I'm trying to show you without showing her. All right, so that's one of them, right? I think she's in a different country, but it doesn't matter, right? The point of this is to reach out to people and try to see if this line has any type of holding. And I think it will. But anyways, sexual magnetism, sexual transmutation, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my attraction to people and use it towards building something, which is so important because we don't do enough of that. So try it out. How do you guys feel? Comment below. How do you feel you could use your sexual magnetism towards building something versus just using that to stay in that lust? So when you lust for someone, instead of just staying in that lust and maybe rubbing one out, instead you go draw, you go do something in your business, right? You take that energy of being that attracted or that, lusty for something or that obsessed about something or addicted to something, and you go and you redirect that energy. So yeah, drop below if you tried it before or what you will do when that moment comes. And I will see you guys